Hello everyone. The River Rapids ride concept was proposed by Bill Crandall, general manager of Astro World in Houston, and developed by Intamin. Astro World introduced the world's first river rapids ride, Thunder River, in 1980 and popularized a concept that can now be found at most major amusement parks. Despite being an incredibly popular attraction, Astro World's Thunder River, being a prototype, was initially plagued by issues that were corrected in the first few seasons of operation. The boat bumpers were redesigned. Portions of the wide river channel were narrowed or barricaded to prevent boats from bottlenecking or getting caught in the backflow, and a planned whirlpool effect was scrapped. Many modern river rapids ride feature a much narrower river channel as well as smaller boats, 6 seats as opposed to 12 seats. Some are heavily themed, while others may present a natural setting for added realism. Multiple manufacturers have introduced new elements to the rapids ride concept. A vertical lift system, shoot-the-chute style drops, and a whirlpool feature. River rapid rides feature circular rafts with 2 main components: the fiberglass body in which passengers are seated and the rubber ring upon which the body is secured. The rubber ring provides buoyancy as well as shock absorption when rafts collide with an obstacle during the course of the ride or with each other. Most rafts hold between 6 and 12 passengers, seated in groups of 2 or 3 depending on the manufacturer of the ride. Riders face toward the center of the boat and are usually secured by a lap belt. Some rafts feature a circular metal bar in the middle of the raft. This gives passengers a place to grip or brace their feet. Some parks include a space for stowing small items in the center. The floor of the raft body is generally above water level to allow drainage. Most parks require riders to be 36 inches or taller. Generally, the station starts at the highest point on the ride, with the river channel having a slight gradient to it for the remainder of the ride. A lift hill then brings the boats back up to station level at the end of the ride. This is usually also the point where the ride's main pumps are housed, bringing the water up from the low point and back up to the high point. The gradient on the river channel provides the water with its flow and pace. This also has the interesting side effect that when the ride's pumps are switched off at the end of operation or in an emergency, the water naturally flows back to the end of the ride where it collects, leaving the majority of the ride's river channel empty and drained until the pumps are turned back on. All Intamin permanent and most other river rapids rides feature a connected lake of some sort at the end of the ride before the lift hill. This is sometimes used to store temporarily decommissioned boats. Its main purpose, however, is to help store the large amounts of water that collect at the end of the ride. Before the lift hill, once the ride's main pumps are turned off, this is the water that would have been circulating around the ride when it is in operation. When observed, you can usually see the height difference in the water level in this lake from when the ride's pumps are turned on, so when they are turned off. This effect is usually less noticeable if an already existing larger lake is used for the ride's water storage. Generally, a longer rapids ride will need a larger lake, as there will be more water to store once the ride's pumps have been turned off. Depending on the size and length of the river rapids ride, it can take up to 15 minutes to fill the ride's channel up from empty once the pumps have been switched on. The flowing water makes its way over wooden logs or plastic tubes strapped to the base of the river channel, which disrupts the smooth flow of the water, thus providing the ride with its rapids. Most river rapid rides also feature a wave section, where the river channel widens and a wave machine creates waves at a 90-degree angle to the flow of the water in the boats. Rocks are also sometimes bolted to the base of the river channel on metal frames, which helps create a more natural rapids feel. There are generally 2 types of river rapids ride stations: those with conveyor belts and those with turntables. Those with conveyor belts are able to lift the raft completely out of the stream of water, usually as an extension of the lift hill at the end of the ride, and advance it to various points in the station to allow passengers to enter and exit via raised straight platforms on either side of the conveyors. Stations that utilize a turntable allow the raft to stay in the stream of water as the turntable continuously revolves, with the rafts wedged between the turntable and a curved surface so that the rafts move at the same speed as the turntable, and not at the same speed as the water. When they reach a certain point around the turntable, the rafts become unwedged and are released in relatively even intervals to traverse the course. Historically, axial flow submersible pumps have been the pump of choice for most rides of this type. The small lateral footprint and large vertical water pumping capacity make them perfect for this type of application, being large in vertical size. They fit right into the end of the ride where there is usually a sudden and large change in height from the end of the ride to the station. Some rides, due to their design, have multiple pump units at different locations along the ride. One example is the new Infinity Falls at SeaWorld Orlando. Occasionally, screw pumps have been used too. In the case of axial flow submersible pumps, rides are usually fitted with 3 being used at all times for the safe operation of the ride and a 4th on standby. The pumps are usually rotated and used to even out wear and tear. After leaving the station, the raft will enter relatively calm waters. After traveling a safe distance, usually 5 to 15 meters, the raft will enter more turbulent waters. Usually, rapids are made by the amusement park having large cylinder tubes underneath the water. The bigger the tube, the bigger the rapids. Along with the rapids, there are often waterfalls. Thank you all very much. Please like, share, and subscribe. Log into Pictory.ai from the description box for a world-class video making experience. https://pictory.ai.ref=Naveen56, promo code Naveen56.